Dr. Jessie Sanders, owner and chief veterinarian of Aquatic Veterinary Services. I'm also the author of the newly published How to Kill Your Koi. So today we'll be discussing some of the tips and tricks behind chapter number 2, planning for the entire life of your koi. And this chapter is based around the myth of koi do just fine in a small pond or even aquarium. They will only grow to the size of their environment. Well, not really. Koi are carp, and they can grow insanely big. All fish start small. All fish start as a tiny little egg or a little tiny fry if you're a live bearer. But koi, even domestic koi, can get up to 18 inches, if not 2 feet long. So to start out, any fish that you have is going to eventually require at least 250 gallons per koi. And this can go up to 500 gallons if you have a reproductively active female trying to support a very large egg mass. So even though your fish might not need all that space right now, you don't want to get to a point where they're running out of room and stressing themselves out and putting strain on your filtration. So it's really important that whenever you're adding fish to a pond, and this kind of builds on chapter 1's, do you really need to add more fish? I get it, when they're small, it looks like they'll be small forever. But if you feed them appropriately and take care of them, they will reach their full size very quickly, within a couple years. So some people will try to feed a very low protein or not really feed your fish at all. And this is when it's warm enough where the fish really need to be metabolizing properly in order to keep the fish from getting bigger. And this is definitely not recommended. This is stunting. This is not anything that is good for your fish. So when water is warm enough for fish to be eating, and it could be anywhere between 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit, they need to eat a minimum protein level about 30 to 35%, which is what's been published in recent studies. This may change over time. Now, some people will try to withhold food in early spring in order to discourage reproductive growth, so the building of eggs and sperm, which there's a very fine line between making sure your fish have enough to eat to maintain their body size versus making sure that they are, not going to be breeding. And I understand with the males chasing the females, it can be very violent. It can hurt your females quite a bit. But if you're going to be doing that, you really need to talk to your veterinarian to make sure that whatever plan you have in place is appropriate for your fish and your pond in that time of year and how warm your pond is. So if you are, say, going to be having a pond with other species, the best choice to add to your koi pond is going to be obviously other koi, goldfish, and high-fin sharks. So yes, you can absolutely put koi and goldfish in the same pond. They're all carp. They share all the same diseases. Some will be presented in koi, some will be presented in goldfish, but they can all share. High-fin sharks are more herbivorous, so they do like snacking on algae. They can also get very, very large. Again, we're talking up to 18, 20 inches. So for every one of those you add, again, you're going to need another probably 200 gallons. So just keep that in mind. Again, they all start small. There's no way around it. So if you have a small pond, so this is probably anything 800 gallons or less, getting 3 koi in there is going to be a little tight, especially depending on the shape. So if you have a small pond, we recommend that you put in goldfish. Now this can be comets, this can be shibunkins with their cute little calico colors, and this can be sarasas that actually look like kohaku koi, but they stay small. So again, small pond, try not to put koi in there. They're going to run out of room very quickly. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week with Chapter 3. For help with your fish, please visit the American Association of Fish Veterinarians at fishvets.org or the World Aquatic Veterinary Medical Association at wavma.org.